courage of Saint Joan of Arc. More than 600 years ago, in the peaceful countryside of France, a young girl named Joan was born in the tiny village of Domrémy. She came from a humble family of farmers. Each day she helped care for the animals, worked in the fields, and lived a simple life. But beyond the quiet beauty of her village, France was suffering. The 100 Years' War had brought fear, destruction, and despair. Villages burned, families were separated, and hope seemed to disappear with each passing day. Yet among ordinary people lived an extraordinary girl. Joan was known for her kindness, her courage, and her unwavering faith in God. No one, not even Joan herself, could have imagined that this simple farm girl would one day change the destiny of an entire nation. When Joan was about 13 years old, her life changed forever. One peaceful summer afternoon, while working in her father's garden, she heard a mysterious voice. At first, fear filled her heart. Then, a brilliant heavenly light surrounded her. Joan believed God had sent holy messengers to guide her. Their message was astonishing. France was suffering, and she had been chosen to help save it. She struggled to understand, how could an ordinary village girl rescue a kingdom? Yet the voices continued to encourage her. They reminded her to remain faithful, to remain courageous, and to trust God's plan. For years, Joan carried this secret deep within her heart. Until one day, she knew it was finally time to obey. At just 17 years old, Joan made an incredible decision. She would travel across dangerous lands to meet the future King of France, the Dauphin Charles. The journey was filled with danger. Enemy soldiers controlled the roads, bandits waited in the forests. Every step could have been her last. For protection, Joan disguised herself in men's clothing and traveled through hostile territory. After many difficult days, she finally reached the royal court. Most people laughed at her. They saw only a poor peasant girl. They doubted everything she said. But Joan never lost confidence. Her courage impressed everyone. When Charles secretly hid among his nobles to test her, Joan walked directly toward him without hesitation. The entire court was astonished. For the first time, Charles began to believe that this young woman had truly been sent by God. Soon, Joan received shining armor, a horse, and a white banner. Though she had never fought in battle before, something remarkable happened. Everywhere she went, she inspired courage. At that time, the city of Orléans was surrounded by enemy forces. Its people had almost lost hope. But Joan refused to surrender. She encouraged frightened soldiers. She reminded them that faith could overcome fear. In 1429, she entered the city carrying her white banner high. The sight of the young woman filled the people with new hope. As fierce battles raged around her, arrows flew through the sky, and cannons shook the earth. Even after being struck by an arrow, Joan refused to quit. She received treatment, then returned to the battlefield. Her determination inspired an entire army. Soon, the impossible happened. The siege of Orléans was broken. For the first time in many years, France believed victory was possible. After the victory at Orléans, Joan continued leading French forces. Town after town was liberated. Soon, the road to the city of Reims was open. This was where the kings of France were traditionally crowned. Many advisors warned Charles not to go. The journey seemed far too dangerous. But Joan never doubted. She trusted God's plan. Finally, Charles agreed. On July 17, 1429, he was crowned King Charles VII. As the ceremony unfolded, Joan stood beside him, holding her banner with tears in her eyes. The mission she believed God had given her had been fulfilled. A humble farm girl had helped place a king upon the throne of France. But Joan's greatest battles were not yet over. Jealousy and politics began to divide those around her. Some feared her growing influence. Others wanted her gone. In 1430, during another military campaign, Joan was captured. She was handed over to the English. Then came a trial that history would remember as deeply unjust. For months, powerful judges questioned her. They tried to trap her. They pressured her to deny her faith. Yet Joan never surrendered. At only 19 years old, she answered every accusation with wisdom, calmness, and remarkable courage. Her body was imprisoned, but her spirit remained free. Eventually, the court declared Joan guilty. She was sentenced to death. On May 30th, 1431, she was led to the marketplace in Rouen. A great crowd gathered. Many wept. Others stood in silence. Joan knew her earthly life was about to end. Yet she showed no hatred. She prayed. She forgave those who condemned her, and she placed her complete trust in God. At just 19 years old, Joan of Arc gave her life. The flames ended her earthly journey. But they could never destroy her courage. Her faith would continue to inspire generations for centuries to come. Years passed, then decades, then centuries. At last, the truth began to emerge. A new investigation proved that Joan's trial had been unjust. Her name was cleared. She was officially declared innocent. Her story spread across the world, inspiring millions. Then, in 1920, the Catholic Church declared Joan of Arc a saint. Today, Saint Joan of Arc remains a symbol of courage, faith, determination, and hope. She proved that greatness is never measured by wealth, power, or social status. Sometimes, a single village girl, with faith in God, can change the destiny of an entire nation. Moral of the story. The story of Saint Joan of Arc reminds us that true courage is not the absence of fear. True courage is choosing to do what is right, even when the path seems impossible. No matter how young you are, no matter how poor, no matter how ordinary you may feel, one person, with faith, determination, and unwavering courage, can change the world. And perhaps, that person could be you. Before you go, if you enjoyed this story, please like this video, share it with your loved ones, and leave a comment telling us what inspired you most. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another inspiring Catholic story. Thank you for being part of our faith journey. May the Lord bless and keep you always.